Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ATR's War Bedlaminia's premier wrestling podcast covering AEW to WWE. I'm Sam the SLB, the anomaly co-host of ATR's War and ATR Rising Sun. And alongside me today is the man behind X Wrestling's Nostradamus, ATR's governor of NXT, Scott.
It's the OGs, round number 2. Both Ethan and John, both still on assignment, not here tonight. So Sam and I are just we're gonna rant a little bit, late on the news in the wrestling realm, but we're gonna make this work like we always do.
Like we've done for the past 6 years. Guys, before we begin, please make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and join our Discord. Very light on the news. A lot going on in personal lives, so it has been a kind of quiet on our end, but I guess we were doing some digging. There really wasn't much this week.
Yeah.
I think the big thing I guess we can start with, the only thing I had seen was Ilja Dragunov gone. Contract is expired. And he's now gone from WWE, which sucks because he was probably one of the best talents they had.
Yep. Yeah. The pain will no longer entertain, which is too sad, which is too bad. It's also too sad. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how they can't find something for him to do. Even if it's not in the title, like just have him beat people up and have people beat him up. It's just, he's perfect for that. And I mean, we were talking about this a little bit outside of the podcast. And I feel like if he goes to either New Japan or AEW, he's going to absolutely light the world on fire. He could also go to MLW too, but I feel like at this point, he should have some bigger exposure or larger exposure. And I feel like if he's not going to New Japan to beat people up, he's going to absolutely annihilate people in AEW. And it's going to be great.
It's funny, as we're talking about this, the first thing that pops up on my X feed is from Fightful. It's an old video in progress. And it's a video. The caption is, "I'm tired of making stars." And it's Eddie Kingston when he cut a promo on Ilja Dragunov when he was in progress. So,
okay, all right.
I would watch that.
We're already sprinkling some seeds here. I like that. That would, yeah.
And at this point, with Dynamite going towards a 3-hour show,
brother,
unintentionally,
just watching you and Ethan like just get more and more upset about this every week, and me, who actually has made it to March, so I've continued to catch up, but also fall behind at the same time. I realize by the time I get to the stuff in August, I'm probably going to miss, actually probably most of the year, I'm going to miss the tail end of every Dynamite. And actually, Collision's been pretty, at least for me, it's been pretty decent and staying on time. There's been a couple of Dynamites where I've missed the endings of the main events or whatever, because it goes over the 15-minute time limit. But I mean, at this point, just make it a 2.5-hour show or a 3-hour show, Tony. Just do it. Set the fans up for what they expect, because those of us who still want to watch your product but are obviously way behind are now going to have to readjust and then have all this wasted space on their DVRs if the shows calm down and go back to their normal. So it's like, just pick a time and kind of sit with it. Please.
Yeah, could you imagine if WCW, maybe they did, I don't know, or Raw back in the day, we're not going to 3 hours, but we got a special ending this week, and it was every week, and it was 15 minutes, then it was 20 minutes, then it was 25 minutes, then it was a half an hour, then it was 35. Ethan told me last night, so I turned it off by the main event because I wanted to read. So that's my piece right now. I got to go back and rewatch it. But it was the Bucks and Kenny taking on... it was essentially they were winning. So
people in the Don Callis family, I think, from what I saw, what I remember from that message. Yeah.
Was that El Clone or was that? I think it was El
Clone. I think
Clone.
it was El Clone, yeah.
And then 2 others. Update. This was from Ethan this morning. Sam, 35-minute overrun.
So I'm going to miss 20 minutes of that episode. God damn. They may not even get to the main event before my DVR is like, oh, we're done this episode. That's wild. Like, and to answer your question, Sam, yes, WCW actually did overruns too, but they weren't like horrible. Like the show would end at 11. They'd go to like 11:05, 11:08, maybe. So they were respectful of the time of the show that was after them. But like it was Ted Turner's. It was his network. He do what he wants. But like this is just egregious at this point. Like,
I mean,
just
also, there was television back then, anyways.
yeah. The 11 o'clock show still pulled in better ratings than what wrestling pulls in now. So,
How many times can we watch repeats of the Transformer movies or whatever?
Yep.
Because you get nothing
else.
It was
Harry Potter for a bit where I was watching. It's just like it just goes into that intro. I'm like, oh, it's Potter. Okay.
Well, it's interesting. The early days of AEW, I remember it being we would catch the end of a movie. It'd be Dynamite, and then it'd be the start of a new movie.
Correct.
So, yeah, I don't. I mean, there's nothing on TV. The only other one I remembered, I don't remember if it was AEW or maybe it was SmackDown at one point, where Crisley Knows Best would come on right after.
Yes, that was it was whatever was on USA. So Raw also had that too at some point. Yeah, I despised that show. So it's just I wanted Raw to end and then I'd be done with it. Was not watching that show. That is hot garbage.
Reality TV in general is hot garbage. That's my take.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we'll see where Dragunov goes. I know there's, I think, a couple other contracts that are coming up that I had seen.
Yeah, we were reading some stuff before we got on here, and it looks like I think it was Brian Alvarez said that there's a few people in October that haven't been on television much with their contract coming due. So we may be seeing some more releases come October. So we'll see. One person I hope is not on that list, but I hope is on television a whole lot more is Blake Monroe. For those of you who remember her AEW run and her Stardom run, the woman can go. And she kind of did a little bit in NXT, but they still even kind of kept her like off television or like at least like out of the ring. And then she goes up to SmackDown and she does these vignettes forever. I was getting flashbacks of freaking, what was it? Emelina. Christ. Where they just kept showing vignettes and then she showed up one week and then she was literally fired the next week or she was let go, but whatever. It was just like, what are we doing here with Blake? I don't even know if she's actually had a match yet on SmackDown. She showed up, she's attacked a few people, but I actually don't even, my brain can't even register if she's actually wrestled on SmackDown yet. That needs to change. It's just, I don't know. They need to do a draft. They need to do something. Shake up. I don't care. Whatever the hell you want to call it in this new era of wrestling that we have, just do something, please. There's so much talent on your roster that's literally sitting in catering. Jordan Grace is another one that comes to mind. Yes, a lot of people like to shit on her for her not as great, mic skills. Who cares? She can wrestle. Let her wrestle. Give her Paul Heyman. I mean, shit. Even 2K26 has her as a Paul Heyman girl for the My Rise stuff. Why can't you do that in real life? It's right there. Just do it, please.
Yeah, I don't. Again, this is kind of like when they signed Royce Keys. It's like, oh yeah, signed. We're gonna have a big debut at the Royal Rumble, and no longer Powerhouse Hobbs, and we got nothing for him.
Yeah, I mean, for a hot minute after he actually re-debuted, he was on TV pretty much every week, and then only recently, after Jacob Fatu got pulled into the bloodline, they had this big like street fight and he literally left him bloodied. I know Ethan was talking about how the Netflix version and the one that I ended up watching because I watched it too late, they blurred out like half his face because he was just bleeding. and so he's out of action indefinitely. So whatever, we'll see what happens. I still have some hopes for him, but they're not as high as they used to be, and that makes me very sad.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
And then like I'm hoping, and I hate to say this, but with the talk of not talk, but with SmackDown going to 3 hours in January, maybe they'll actually, hopefully, again, I'll knock on wood here, hopefully they'll actually use that time to have these wrestlers have some time on television. Because it's an hour. I know WWE doesn't like to really do the whole wrestling thing much anymore. It's too much talking, too much commercial. It's just, I don't know, maybe throw another match in there. Maybe. I mean, I know it's not AEW that has 25 matches in a 2.5 hour block, but, you know, maybe more than 4 matches per 2 hours or 3 hours. We'll find a happy medium here. Please? I don't know.
Yeah.
I've watched wrestling since 1990, and I'm starting to get a little frustrated with it. When I say starting, I mean there's been years where I've been very frustrated. We all remember when we first started doing this podcast, when I would watch the god awful Raws and do the Raw review right after that, and I swear, if I was paid a dime for every sigh that I would do after having to record a Raw review, I'd be a multi-billionaire at this point.
We wouldn't be working. We do this full time.
I know, right? Seriously. God, it would be wonderful to just wake up, roll out of bed, get showered, and be like, hey, let's talk about wrestling all day today. That'd be good. But no, unfortunately, we have 9 to 5s, and that's just how this works. We get to do this and still have some fun. This is honestly the longest that Sam and I actually get to talk face to face, because obviously I'm in Vermont, he's in Florida, so
yeah,
we're not near each other all the time. But
no,
dear God, these are
However,
these are the fun times of the week. I
Yep,
look forward to
we live
Thursdays
close.
all the time.
Probably hanging out a couple times a week.
Yep.
You know, it's interesting because I was just so in the midst of everything going on right now. I'm obviously reading. Shameless plug, not wrestling related. If you haven't read Dungeon Crawler Carl, I suggest everyone go check it out. Or the audiobook. Everyone says the audiobook is like better than the book. I don't know, listen to it after. I'm not really watching much because I don't have any desire to commit to anything right now. I'm watching an episode of Twin Peaks a week. I've been doing that for like a few months.
Mm-hmm. That's right. You're doing that with your friend. That's right.
Mm-hmm. I'm watching Lanterns, which just started. First episode wasn't bad, and I was thinking about rewatching Heroes because
Hayden's death that hurt my soul.
Yep, but I'm also kind of working through the animated series for DC from the '90s. So I think I'm on Justice League, Batman Beyond, whatnot. What I'm getting at here, Scott, is like there's definitely some wrestling shows I think we could go back and rewatch if we wanted. If we got bored, we can go back and watch some documentaries. I don't know where they are anymore. Are they on Peacock still? Are they on Netflix? Are they in the ether?
Yeah, but it's actually kind of funny that you talk about older wrestling stuff. So my my news that I talked about before we started recording, as of a couple months ago, Lucha Underground has started putting episodes from season 1 on their official YouTube channel.
Oh hell yeah!
As of 2 months ago. As of today, I read this right before we started. They are now going to be adding an episode 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So I know I joke about this with you forever, but I'm going to dedicate some time to watching this again because some of the best wrestling, like even in the stories, you know how I am with when it comes to a good wrestling story. This stuff, some of the highest quality wrestling that they've ever put out, especially in the early seasons. The later seasons were a little more rougher, but even still, the first couple of seasons, man, some good stuff. So yeah, go find that Lucha Underground. Give it a watch. 43, 44-minute episodes. It was an hour-long television show, so they just sounds like they just cut out the commercials and just threw it up. I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. Probably gonna watch the first episode tonight. Might be a bad idea because I may not go to sleep tonight. Good stuff.
How many episodes was that?
Of all of Lucha Underground? Let me find that out.
I'm actually pulling up right now. 4 seasons, 127 episodes.
Yep. There you go.
Once I clean up my viewing history, I might have to throw that on there.
I'm telling you, it was what, 2014 to 2018?
Mm-hmm. They had something very special too going on.
Yes. Yep. It's just the characters worked so well together.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had the owner, was it Mario Cueto, I think was his name? Just like he was like the evil, like he was everything I think Vince McMahon wanted to be in the Attitude Era, but couldn't accomplish. So that's, yeah. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's I'm looking at it with rose-colored glasses because I just loved it so much. I mean, yeah.
No,
I'm very excited.
Everyone loved it.
Yeah. I mean, it was, yeah. It's too bad that there was so much nonsense on the back end of stuff with like El Rey Network and like all the companies that had the rights and the contracts with the wrestlers. Like there were some wrestlers at the end that couldn't actually go out and continue to wrestle because the contract stated that they couldn't wrestle for anybody else besides Lucha Underground, but Lucha Underground had gone out of business essentially. So it's like it took like years for these guys to go through legislation to be able to get out of this contract so they could go back and do what they love. I mean, shit. I met Son of Havoc, or what was it, Matt Dog, I think is his name, from that. And I went to a local show in Vermont, and he was there. He was the main reason why I went. And I told him when I met him, I got this photo from him. I said, "You were one of my favorite people on Lucha Underground." It's just, I loved everything he did, and even the match he had was great. But it was just like, man, I just have such a special place in my heart for Lucha Underground, and I'm so happy that it's back on, or that it's on YouTube, and I can go back and revisit those 4 years of wonderfulness.
Let's see, Lucha, not Licha. Lucha Underground. I'm gonna follow.
Yeah, good stuff.
Will I get to it right away? Probably not, but
that's all right.
It's easier
there
to find.
Now you'll get the notification when there's a new episode that comes out.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Well, that's big. Because the other thing I wanted to go back and rewatch, and I talk about it all the time, I haven't watched it in a while, so I want to go back and watch the old Attitude Era documentary, Man at War, and then the one on ECW, Rise and Fall.
Yes.
I
believe we both own that. I have it locked away. I got my because I sent you the photo of it. I bought a new wow, brain just completely died right there. New bookshelf. The thing is 5'10". It's almost as tall as me, and it's like 35 inches long. So it's gonna go right behind me. So all those boxes and shit's gonna get out of there. I'm gonna have an actual dedicated thing. It's gonna have my things that I enjoy. So it's gonna have stuff for wrestling, stuff for sports, stuff for the weather, and just like games and stuff like that. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna take a while for me to completely fill it out, but I'm excited to get this and be able to show it off a little bit too. So it'll be good. I'm excited.
Plex actually has the Monday Night War. Interesting. And that to list. I'm gonna watch that again. No, that's gonna be awesome. Just like my soon-to-be library.
I know. I can't wait for Sam to be able to show this off. I can't wait to see it in person one day and be like, "Oh my god, I'm just gonna move in, Sam. This is where I'm gonna live now."
It's gonna have everything: books, movies, music.
Yep, I'll be a snowbird. I'll come down for the winter. Or you kind of did that before you moved down. You went to go see your brother. You stayed there for like a month or two, and then you came back up to Rhode Island. So,
Well, I want to make sure I liked it. You know, you can go visit
right,
a
exactly.
place.
Yeah, I mean that's a huge commitment to just completely move like down the down the eastern seaboard. So you kind of want to make sure you enjoy it before you do anything.
You know, that's the thing. I know a lot of people, they go places and they're like, "Oh, I like this. Let me move here." And then actually happens down here a lot. They're
And they
like
hate
9
it and
months
they move
later,
back. Yeah.
they move back, and it's like you literally up and moved your whole family. You're married with kids,
Mm-hmm.
and you've done this, and now you're going to recklessly do it again.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's insane. That's a conversation for another day. Regardless, no, that's gonna be sweet. That'll be really sweet. It's funny. I was looking for stuff this week in pro wrestling history. Nothing came up. The one thing that I saw, this came from Wrestling News Observer, and it was posted on 411 Mania, so we can speculate. Usually we look at WrestleTix when we look at ticket sales.
Yep.
WrestleTix on X does not have anything on Money in the Bank. However, it's being reported that Money in the Bank in New Orleans has only sold 7,000 tickets. This is as of August 14th.
Yeah, we looked it up. The general sale was live on July 10th. So, and we've seen this happen in the past where a show will come out, tickets will go on sale, like 15, 18,000 people. It's sold out within a couple hours. Money in the Bank is arguably a top five or a big five. We always like to call it a big five. And it's only sold 7,000. I mean,
well, listen, yes. So to go off of that, according to the same report, Survivor Series on the 28th of November in Houston has already sold about 20,000 out of the 35 they have.
That's what I'm saying. Like, something doesn't add up. I mean, I can understand if New Orleans is upset because they lost out on Mania. Now, after they got the huge announcement on the Raw, was it the Raw afterwards, or maybe a couple Raw after of Mania? They say, "Hey, we're gonna go to New Orleans next," and then all of a sudden they're like, just kidding, we're going back to Vegas."
Kicking the dick.
Yeah, seriously. So, I mean, I can kind of understand if the locals are upset. Maybe the 7,000 tickets are from people who are not local. Who knows? But yeah, it's. We already talked about how much of a bad business practice that was for them to completely pull the rug out from under them. And
AEW has the opportunity to right that wrong.
They do. They do. It's also funny because I don't know if you've seen this, but they've announced it the last, I think, couple of weeks. After WrestleMania night 1 and 2, there's going to be an NXT. I think they're Stand and Deliver, and then AAA is having a like super show or one of their pay-per-views on the other night. So they're giving you a full night of WWE wrestling, probably to counterbalance what AEW is probably going to end up doing. So I'll be very interested to see if AEW actually pulls the trigger and decides to have a show WrestleMania weekend. Because normally they've avoided it like the plague because it's WrestleMania. It's been around for 40 plus years at this point. It's already an institution. You don't go after the institution. Maybe they do this year because a lot of people are upset that it's going to Saudi. The only good thing about that, and Ethan has said it multiple times, it's an afternoon show. So we get to watch wrestling at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock instead of watching it at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. And if it was an AEW show, they'd start at 7 and go until 3 o'clock in the morning. Maybe they'll do that anyways. Who knows? We'll see. It's WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah. I also heard that the New York stuff, because it's in New York, if I'm not mistaken, right? The takeover or whatever, Stand and Deliver, and
thinks yes, because I think is it at Madison Square Garden?
I think so. Because the rumor was they were trying to make sure that AEW couldn't book that.
Right. Well, I mean, there's been places around the United States and even in Canada where WWE has just blocked them from being able to go into larger places. So it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, honestly, they have that show in Queens. I can't think
At
of it. I can't
Arthur
remember.
State Grand Slam.
Yeah, I can't remember anything anymore. Any more ginkgo biloba? Help me. I can't think anymore. And that show always does normally pretty good. They get what, 15, 16, 17,000 people in that arena?
Yeah, they fill that up for the most part.
It's the Arthur Ashe. That
Yes.
was the one. There you go. Hey, brain. Now you're working. Yeah. So I don't know. It's still, 8 months away. So we're not there yet. But I'd be interested to see if they decide to pull the trigger here.
Isn't it interesting, Scott? We've been doing this for 6 years. AEW is going on to its 7th year.
Yep.
Technically 7 years, but 7th year of Dynamite in October. How the landscape has changed.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's interesting because AEW obviously comes in and changes the industry for the better.
Yep.
And then somehow we're in this weird lull where, the products are good. They're not bad.
Right.
But there's a lot of this, it's like both of them think they're on top of the world and everyone's like,
yeah. Part of me wonders if it's also with all the rest of the garbage that's going on in the world that everybody's opinion of happy and fun things just are dulled by it.
Could be that.
I don't know. But you're right though. I mean, I'm thoroughly enjoying watching the stuff from last year, January, February. It's been good stuff. I'm like, all right, well, I always make it a point where if I start a Dynamite, I have to watch Collision right afterwards, or I have to get 2 shows out of the way. So it's 3 hours I got to dedicate essentially, to be able to do it. So I normally do it on a weekend day. I can't do it normally during the weekday because I'm a tired boy after work all day. So, but I'm enjoying it. And I know there's some really fun stuff that's coming. So I'm looking forward to seeing that happening. But you're right though. It's not blowing me away. It's not like I have to watch an entire day of AEW television now. It's just it's fun. I don't have to look at my phone while I watch it. I can actually pay attention to it. Before, I was I put it on and then I'm scrolling for 2 hours while I'm casually listening to what's going on. Now I'm paying attention to what's happening on TV.
Yeah, I think the only one that's kind of, and I got to catch up on it. I'm a little behind. Maple Leaf Pro. Again, talking about the long shows, come back to the short shows. A good 45-minute, hour-long program.
Yep.
It's fun. It gives you that short burst. Again, NWA Power per season comes to mind.
Yep.
Don't need a lot.
I need to catch up on AAA. That's been my short burst of wrestling to watch, and I haven't had a chance to catch up on it yet. So I'm hoping at some point soon that I'll be able to catch up and then watch this week's live, or at least close to live as I can. So we'll see.
Yeah, that is 2 of us, but a lot of things on my end that I didn't anticipate. Right. Oh, another thing I think that's interesting that we want to mention. Was it this week? It might have been this week. Where Collision has officially surpassed the length of Thunder.
I think that was last week because I remember you put that in one of our group chats, and I was like, wow.
158 episodes of Collision. I think Thunder had 157.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Great concept for that show, but that quickly fell into Sunday Night Heat level of wrestling quality.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, no, it's 156. Either way, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that was I guess that was big news. There's going to be a time in my life where I need to go back and watch. I don't even know where you'd start. The first episode of Nitro. What was before Nitro?
Probably WCW Saturday Night. Because that's where I discovered WCW television. Because it was always after or before a Braves game.
Okay. Yeah,
so
Wikipedia.
that's where I used to. That was because it was just great. Like the opening with like the doors and like the fog and like the fun stuff. Like it looked futuristic, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And I already watched wrestling, so just like it's not WWF, but hey, we'll give this a shot, see how this is, and yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I don't remember if they had any other types of shows back then.
Few. I think I'm just looking at WCW programming. Worldwide Clash of the Champions.
Oh yeah. That's true.
You know, they had their own. I think there was shows that were like Heat and Velocity.
Yeah, that's kind of what Saturday Night's Saturday Night, whatever the hell I said. Wow, that was kind of like their thing because they have like, I think, especially later on, like either there was like 2 matches, and the rest of it was this is what happened on Nitro, and this is what happened on Thunder, and so it kind of really shrunk it down to what like main event is now. Like you'd have 1 or 2 matches. But before, it used to be a full like hour show of wrestling. You'd have, I think, 3 or 4 matches, and there was a little bit of storytelling in there, but it was mainly just like the old wrestling guys just going at it. It was good stuff.
Yeah, it said 92 is when it went, because originally it was just World Championship Wrestling, and then it changed in 92 to WCW Saturday Night.
Yep. That actually makes sense because the early 90s is when I discovered baseball. Yeah.
59 episodes from 92 and 93 are available on the network and Peacock.
Okay.
So what about 94, 95?
It was probably on the WWE network back in the day. But I don't know what happens to all these things. Like this is the one thing that really pisses me off about what they've done is like you had everything literally in the palm of your hand. Like with the WWE network. And I understand that you want to make money. So you sell part of it off to Peacock. Fine. Peacock did a good job of pulling most of their stuff over. From there, now it's everywhere. It's like the WWE Vault has it. There's like the WWE YouTube channel has it. It's partially on Netflix. Partially, I don't even know if there's any WWE content left on Peacock. And obviously, the network disappeared because God forbid they wouldn't survive on $9.99 per month.
So I'm literally on Netflix. I typed in WCW and nothing comes up.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. But it also might be because we're in the US. So that stuff might just be region blocked for us.
Yeah, let me try.
I talked about Lucha Underground a while back. It's the YouTube channel. It's blocked in the UK, so they can't watch it there. But Amazon Prime has it, but you have to pay per episode or per season, which sucks. So that's the main reason why I didn't buy. I also don't have Amazon Prime, but I wouldn't want to pay per episode to watch. Why? I have it on YouTube now for free, so I'm much happier about that.
WCW Saturday Night is not currently available on any major official subscription streaming services.
Saddens me.
Well, that's aggravating.
Yep, 100%.
So my next question is, where can I watch WCW Nitro? 7 months ago. Let's look at this. Aside from the kind of poorly managed WWE ran WCW YouTube account, there's also Internet Archive. Oh yeah, Internet Archive exists.
That's true. Yep. Watch it on the cancer streams.
Yeah. Well, archive has everything. It's just everything that like exists is archived on this for reasons like this.
Right.
Because it's kind of like with Nintendo. One day you're going to lose access to it, and then, well, this was really great. Well, we don't want you playing that. Why not? We liked it.
Right.
So, yeah. I might have to go dig in for that because I remember watching a board one day years ago, and I threw on an episode of WCW Saturday night. It might have even been the first episode they had on Peacock or even the network when it was still on.
Yeah.
And I forgot who was wrestling. The matches were kind of cool. But the commentary team, it was it
Jim Ross, I believe, was on there.
Jim Ross and Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You know, and it's interesting to hear him in again, that time, you know, Steve Austin is over there.
Yep.
Triple H is over there. That was pre Kevin Nash. When did I just watch? That was a wild. Hold on. We're going down this rabbit hole now. I came across an old WCW match. It was like a battle royal.
Okay.
And we didn't think we'd have
good old terrorizing, stunning Steve Austin.
All right. I went to music videos today. Book videos. SCTV. I've been watching a lot of that too. Mega projects. Cleaning my fridge. Wow, it's in here. What the hell was it? Books. Where is this match? It was an old battle royal. It was a pay-per-view.
Okay.
There's no way this was Battle Bowl 93.
Battle Bowl. My God.
It was like an event that happened every year for a while, but this was the only year I think it was a pay-per-view. And the contestants in this is in Pensacola, Florida, November 20th. I think you had to qualify. It was like you had to qualify to get into this, like we believe we should be.
Correct.
And then at the end, everyone would be in the Battle Bowl. But where's they don't have a full list of people. Vader was in it, he won. But Sting was in it, Dustin Rhodes was in it, Steve Austin was in it. Brian Knobbs was in it, Cactus Jack was in it. Jerry Sags was in it. Steve Austin and Ric Flair defeated Too Cold Scorpio and Max Payne to enter. Again, Steve Austin with Ric Flair in his prime.
Right. Jesus. And
then Rip Rogers and Road Warrior Hawk. I don't know. It was just fascinating. I was just like, this is it's probably like watching TNA in the 2000s, 2010s, where there was probably still a lot of junk. But then you're like, because they talk about that all the time. They're like, oh yeah, early WCW was like floundering. And I'm like, oh, I seen some of it. It looked fun. Looked like a good time.
Yeah.
But like TNA, obviously, even with everything going on, I mean, you still had Samoa Joe, you had AJ Styles, you had Christopher Daniels, you had Abyss, you had Kurt Angle in his prime, you had Christian Cage in his prime, you had eventually Aces and Eights, you had, Bobby Roode, Cowboy James, what the hell's his name?
James Storm.
Yeah. Like,
and then the Broken Hardys.
Mm-hmm.
Which I would probably say would be like one of, if not the biggest signing that they ever had, because like oh my god, their stuff was just crazy. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
All right. Well, I know that was a tangent. Did we have anything else?
Not really. I mean, I know that they're still doing the Lucha tournament for Mexico City. The winner will face Roman Reigns. And at this point, I think the only AAA guy left is La Parca. Everybody else is a main roster person. So it's like, all right, what the hell, guys? But yeah, I'm still full steam ahead of Rey Fenix versus Penta in the finals. And then probably Penta winning, going to face Roman in Mexico City. That's going to be a fun match. Will it lead to anything down the road? Don't know. But yeah, this could be a career-defining moment for Penta. Don't think he'll win the title, but he's going to have a great showing. And I kind of want to see Roman take that take that Spike Pile Driver, so we'll see.
Yeah, we will absolutely see. Well, next week we'll have a little more to talk about. I think it's our live show next week, right?
That is correct, sir. We have 2 shows to talk about, All In and Heatwave.
We do indeed. So, Scott, before you get off the air, tell everyone where they can find you at.
You can find me pretty much everywhere as Scotty J Stream. I do all the non-Japan tweeting on our X account and our Facebook account. A little bit of a programming note. I did mention last week that I would be doing a live pack opening on Saturday. I have to move it to Sunday. I have stuff that I have to do on Saturday, so I won't make it by noon. But Sunday, noon, look for it. It'll be on all the streaming platforms that we normally do. It'll be a fun little time. We'll open some cards. We'll have a little chit-chat, and that'll be it.
And you can find me as the SOB official. I obviously do Review Realm with John the Statman. I am also the co-host of ATR Rising Sun. We will have a new episode coming out soon on that. Talk about the finals and the results from G1 Climax 36, I believe. So keep an eye out for that. Guys, we're on all streaming platforms. You know the spiel. You know where to find us. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, do not forget to join the Bedlam.
Thanks, guys.